Can you buy a home for $100,000 in Brazil? The answer is definitely yes. Now you might struggle in certain cities like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, but in many other parts it's definitely possible. Now I'm going to focus on the south of Brazil in this video, because if I were to show you houses in the whole of Brazil, that's going to be a very long video. So I'm going to talk about the states of Parana, Santa Catarina, and also Rio Grande do Sul. And I'll leave links in the description below to the estate agents that are selling the properties that I'm showing in this video. Okay, so let's start off by looking at the three capital cities in the south of Brazil. So that is Curitiba in Paraná, Florianópolis in Santa Catarina, and Porto Alegre in Rio Grande do Sul. And let's start with Florianópolis, because that's the most expensive of the three. And it's near the coast, it's got lots of nice beaches, it's relatively big, about 580,000 people, and crime levels are relatively low here. Now in the city centre, you'll be able to buy a relatively small apartment for $100,000. So you've got this apartment here, which is a studio apartment in a nice area in the centre of Florianópolis. It's 51 square meters, which is 550 square feet. So you've got a living area, kitchen and bathroom down here, and then you've got a mezzanine area above where the bedroom is. And this is for sale for 580,000 reais, which is $103,000. So you can see you don't get that much for $100,000 in the center of Florianópolis if you want something modern. But if you're willing to buy an apartment which is a bit older, you can get something which is a bit bigger, or you can look for a property on the outskirts of the city, and then you can get something bigger. So you got this apartment here, which is in São José, which is more on the outskirts of the city. So this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, 80 square meters, which is 860 square feet. And it's got a nice balcony and also a communal swimming pool. And it's for sale for 600,000 reais, which is $106,000. And in terms of houses in Florianópolis, yeah, there you'll really need to search on the outskirts of the city to find anything for $100,000. So you got this property here, which is in Palhoça. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 85 square meters, which is 910 square feet. And it's got a small sized garden as well. And this is for sale for 560,000 reais, which is $99,000. And then if we go north to Curitiba, the capital Paraná, and this city is a bit cheaper than Florianópolis, so you can get a bit more for your money. But it is away from the coast, it doesn't have really nice beaches, and the crime is a bit higher here compared to Florianópolis, but still relatively low. So here you can find some apartments in the city center for $100,000. So you've got this one here, which is 69 square meters, which is 740 square feet. It's got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and yeah, nice and modern. And it's for sale for 590,000 reais, which is $105,000. So you can see you're getting a slightly larger apartment in the city center here compared to Florianópolis. And in terms of houses, you can actually find some houses in the city of Curitiba for $100,000. Now they're not the biggest, they're a bit simple. So you've got this house here, which is 109 square meters, which is 1,100 square feet. It's got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and a small outside area. So I mean, it's okay, relatively simple, and it's for sale for 550,000 reais, which is $98,000. But if you want something a bit larger and a bit more modern, then if you look even further out on the outskirts of Curitiba, there you can find some nicer, larger properties for $100,000. And if we move further south to Porto Alegre, the capital of Rio Grande do Sul, so this is again quite a big city, 1.3 million inhabitants. And again, it's cheaper than Florianópolis, doesn't have the nice beaches, and also the crime here is a bit higher. So here you can find some okay sized apartments in the city center. So you got this apartment here, which is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, nice balcony as well. You can see this is an older apartment which they've refurbished, and it's for sale for 477,000 reais, which is $85,000. And obviously you can find some smaller, more modern apartments as well in the city centre for $100,000. In terms of houses for sale in Porto Alegre, I mean, there are some, but in general it's not that popular to live in houses in Porto Alegre. And one of the reasons I think is the fact that crime here is a bit higher. So in general, people prefer to live in apartments in Porto Alegre. Okay, so those were the capital cities. But if you look at the smaller cities, so here you get a lot more for your money. So if we look at Blumenau, for example, so this is a city in Santa Catarina. It's got about 380,000 inhabitants. It's away from the coast, and it has a lot of German influence because a lot of German immigrants came to this city. So it's a very nice city in the countryside. And I found this apartment here, which is 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The total area is 115 square meters, which is 1,240 square feet. So it's quite a big apartment. It's very nice and modern. And it's for sale for 574,000 reais, which is $103,000. But then you can also buy a house in the city for $100,000. So I found this house here, which is relatively big. It's got 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. It's 200 square meters, which is 2,100 square feet. I think that must include the kind of the outside areas like the barbecue area and stuff. And it's got a nice big garden as well. I mean, it's not the most modern, so it does need some modernizing. And this is for sale for 680,000 reais, which is $120,000. So it's a bit higher than 100,000, but you know, maybe you can negotiate. And then another nice city is Maringá, so that's in Parana, so we're moving a bit north again. And this city has about 400,000 inhabitants, and it's located away from the coast in the western part of Parana. And it's a really nice city. And here I found a property. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. Total size is 121 square meters, which is 1,300 square feet. And it's a new build. You can see it's very modern, quite open plan. And this is for sale for 549,000 reais, which is $97,000. But then if you start searching for properties in even smaller cities and towns, then you get even more for your money. And that could include small cities and towns near the beach. So I found this property here in Balneário Barra do Sul. So this is a beach town in Santa Catarina. And what I would say is that the beaches here are okay, but the really nice beaches are further south in Santa Catarina. But down there, you're going to struggle to find a house for $100,000 near the beach. So this property here is relatively big. So it's got 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. It's 190 square meters, which is 2,000 square feet. It's got a nice garden, but it does need some renovation inside. And it's for sale for 583,000 reais, which is $103,000. And then another option is to buy a beach apartment in one of these smaller towns at the beach. So I found this apartment here. This is in Barra, Velha, which is close to Balneário Barra do Sul, where the house was. And the beaches here are very similar as well. They're okay, but there are nicer beaches in other areas. And this apartment here is a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. It's 64 square meters, which is 690 square feet. And it's completely new, so it hasn't been furnished. And it's open plan, it's got a nice balcony. We've got views of the sea from the balcony. And this apartment's for sale for 550,000 reais, which is $98,000. Okay, and moving away from coast, another nice town is Gramado and also Canela. So these towns are situated in the mountainside in Rio Grande do Sul. They're very affluent, very nice, very safe as well. But the problem is you'll struggle to find a house here for $100,000. But then there is a town next to them called São Francisco de Paula. And this town is also very nice, but it's a lot cheaper and it's only a half an hour drive to Gramado Canela. And here I found a property. It's a wooden house. It's got a nice big garden here. And it's got 2 small waterfalls as well on the land. And then the actual property has got 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a nice big open plan living area, and it's for sale for 550,000 reais, which is $98,000. And then finally, if you're willing to live even further into the countryside, so now away from the smaller cities and towns, then here you can find properties with lots of land, with forests, farms, and many are for sale for around $100,000. So you got this property here. So this is in the countryside in Santa Catarina. The town is called Anitápolis. It's about a 2-hour drive from Florianópolis, the capital. And this property has 3 hectares of land, which is 7 acres. And it's got a river running through the land as well. So it's very beautiful. And the property is kind of a mixed house, so it's kind of half brick, half wooden, and it's got 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And so it's not the biggest and relatively simple and needs some renovation. And this is for sale for 690,000 reais, which is $122,000. So you're kind of paying more for the land rather than the property, but it is very, very beautiful here. But living near a river here in Brazil, you do have to be a bit careful because sometimes you can have some flooding, which has happened in the past. If you move further west into the countryside, here you can find properties with even more land for $100,000. So you've got this property here, which is in São João do Oeste, and this has 5.5 hectares, which is 13 acres of land. And this is a small working farm. It's got livestock, and the property is very nice as well. It's got 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's also got a separate barn as well, which is very big. And this property is for sale for 620,000 reais, which is $110,000. Okay, so hopefully you found this video useful and it gave you a feel for what you can get for $100,000 here in the south of Brazil. Obviously, there are many other really nice towns and cities which I didn't show you. And obviously, if you come here and have a budget of more than $100,000, then you can find some really nice properties. And I might do a separate video on that, showing what you can get for $200,000 or $300,000. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Please leave a like, subscribe. If you've got any questions or anything, leave it in the comments below. So thanks for watching. Until next time.